Hey everyone, Officer Shane Spielman here from Anaheim Police Department's Ask a Motor Cop. As always, I'm joined by my partner in crime, Sergeant Rick Boyer. And then also today we have Sergeant Ryan Blackburn. And the whole reason why we're here today is to talk about something that's it's very prevalent right now, and it's the whole street racing, donuts taking over intersections, private property parking lots. It's because of COVID, there's a lot less traffic on the streets, and we've got these young people in these high-performance cars doing these tricks and stunts. So the whole reason we're here is to talk about a new tool that we've developed to help us quell this situation and hopefully solve the problem. And that's why Sergeant Blackburn's here. So Rick, why don't you go ahead and start us off? The first question for Sergeant Blackburn here.
Well, I think the first thing I'd like to hear Ryan talk about is what we're actually talking about when we talk about the term street racing today, because now it's kind of evolved, especially with social media and people's ability to post what's going on, far past what traditional street racing is to the sideshows and things like that are occurring today.
I think what Shane expressed earlier about the dangers of street racing and the traditional street racing that Rick spoke about has really changed, and this sideshows and stunning in parking lots is really taken over. And social media is playing a big part in that. In fact, it's playing so much of a part that we've actually looked at a new Anaheim Municipal Code regarding this.
Very good, very good. You touched on social media. The huge part of social media is obviously when these people are doing their stunts in the street, you get a lot of people around videotaping, put it on these different social media websites and applications. So is that who we're talking about today?
Yes, absolutely. What we're talking about, social media-driven incidents are these stunting and intersection takeovers are posted online, and they really are playing to the part of the spectators. And spectators do play such a large part in this that they're actually shutting intersections down and becoming part of the problem.
So the spectators then aren't traditional spectators that you would think about, like, hey, we're going to go to a baseball game and we're the spectators watching a baseball game. What we're saying is that spectators are more intimately involved with the event. Right. In fact, they're almost part of the event. When we see them running out and people are doing donuts around them, or we see them running out and trying to jump away from the car coming by, narrowly being missed and being hit, those are all things done for the benefit of social media and then for the benefit of the event and the other people that are watching, correct? I mean, that's how they're more intimately involved with it. And these are the people that we're speaking of, correct?
Absolutely. And everybody wants to be a social media star. And these guys do. They take their own life and put it at risk by walking in between these cars or trying to tap the back of it. And these are the people that are allowing these posts to get all the hits.
So by spectator then, as far as what we're trying to do, I know one of the first things you had to do is you had to come up with really like a definition of what are we saying a spectator is? Because again, it's not what people would traditionally think of what a spectator is. It's more of something that we had to define for this purpose. What is a spectator?
Correct.
And what is that?
So for a spectator on a street racing or sideshow incident, it's basically you have to be within 200 feet of an intersection or of one of these events. And it's not going to be the person just walking by and looking over and say, oh, I see that. It's going to be the people that are actually coming there with the intention to watch that event.
So they're going to be the fuel for the fire.
Exactly.
No, it's not like as an organization that we've basically never done anything with this before, correct? I mean, there's a lot of different things I think that approaches we've tried in the past, some successful, some not, and some uses of technology where we've tried to do this. Can you kind of go over so that everybody's aware of kind of organizationally what we've done in the past?
Yes, absolutely. In the past, again, we talk about street racing. We talk about two people racing down the street. Things have changed. We're still enforcing those laws. Those are still misdemeanors, could even be up to a felony, depending on what type of activity these people are doing. And in the past, we would go after just the driver. The two drivers we'd go after, we'd use investigative techniques to figure out who those drivers were, and then we'd arrest those people and take their cars for 30 days.
Right. So then this is going to be an expansion. So basically everything that we had before is still in place. What we've done now is we've kind of expanded on that. And so that expansion occurred is basically because we've decided under the way things look now, the spectators are part of the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Essentially, I mean, they're adding to the issue, correct?
Correct.
Is that fair to say?
Correct. They're adding to the issue. They're getting hurt. That's the biggest thing. Is they're presenting a danger to themselves and to others. And so by them being out there and being part of these events, we had to look at us as an agency and figure out what we're doing to fix the problem. How do we solve this problem? And so we started looking at other agencies who actually have these type of ordinances regarding spectators.
Okay, and have they had any success using those other ordinances?
Absolutely. Some of these cities have had laws on the books for tens of 20. Some of these agencies have had these laws on the books for many years, and they are very effective. And so much to the fact that they're not having this type of problems that we here at Anaheim are having with spectators and street racing and sideshows.
So that was a nice thing when you were trying to put this together, was you had some other expertise that you could pull from, and then add your own expertise to it to come up with kind of something that fits our purposes for our city and the problems that we're trying to address, correct? Is that fair to say?
Absolutely.
So this is a new law on the books, and when do we get to start using it?
Okay, this is going to go live tomorrow, being March 11th. Our patrol officers will be actively enforcing it, as well as the Traffic Bureau.
So as we were talking about, this ordinance is a compilation of every different thing, and it's specific to our problems. So you talked about how we're going to start to be able to enforce it tomorrow, the 11th of March. So what is that actual ordinance? What are we going to be looking for as it's specified in this?
Yes, so we're going to continue to arrest violators who are street racing. We're also going to be able to enforce the laws on off-street parking lots, private property, and also spectators who are actually out there fueling the fire.
Okay, so basically we're just talking about how we're going to be enforcing this come tomorrow, the 11th of March. What I want to make sure that we clarify, though, is that none of this changes the work that we already do based on 23-109 of the Vehicle Code, which basically gives us those rights to enforce street racing laws, exhibition of speed, reckless driving, things like that, right? And there's also a tow element that's a part of that, where for the safety of the public, we can tow these cars. It's not just random. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yeah, so anyone who's arrested for reckless driving, their car is subject to a 30-day impound, and that's because it is such a dangerous event that these people are participating in.
Yeah, California has basically deemed that because it's such a dangerous, activity, that they don't want these people on the streets.
So Shane has a really zippy car, and sometimes I'll go over to his house, and he never keeps the garage side door locked. I'll pop it out and take it. He doesn't even know that I know that the keys are under the seat. Okay. When I do that, though, he knows that I'm the one who has it because I'm the one that always steals his car. If I go out and I participate in one of these sideshows, you're going to tow my car, correct?
Absolutely. No.
But you're not. You're going to tow Shane's car.
Yes.
So what does that mean for Shane, who knows I took his car and went out street racing in it?
Rick.
Well, now Shane has to go through the process of trying to get his car back. And he knew that Rick was driving his car. He knows how Rick drives. And so now you have to get your car out after 30 days. It's going to cost a lot of money.
And what if Shane's my dad?
That's even worse.
I'm like his really like smart, cool son that was super athletic in high school and everything, and then I take his car and I go out and I do a bunch of this stuff, but I don't tell Dad. I just kind of go like, hey Dad, I take the car, now what?
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's still going to cost him a lot of money.
Okay.
To get that vehicle out of impound.
So parents, otherwise you're still completely liable. Now, what does that mean criminally, civilly? Where's my liability stop there? Am I protected in any way, or am I pretty much liable on most of that stuff?
Well, if it's your son and he's under 18, you're going to be liable for that.
Oh. All right, Dad, it's on you. You're stuck with me.
So I think the biggest takeaway with the whole towing and impoundment for 30 days is that, parents, friends, who's ever watching this, when you let somebody use your car, make sure you know what they're using it for, because this is happening a lot. Sergeant Blackburn actually handles these types of cases, and we're getting all these folks with their vehicles being impounded, and they're going, well, I didn't know. You gotta know, because we're trying to quell this dangerous activity, and we're using the law to our advantage, and the law says we can tow and hold these cars for 30 days, and we're going to do it to make the streets safer.
And then the other thing, we're talking about parents and responsibility. If you're allowing your kids to come out and watch these sports, you're putting them at danger. They're risking their own lives by being out there. You need to know what your children are doing, where they're at, and make sure that you sit down and talk to them about these different events. We want everybody to be successful. We want them to have a happy, long life, and these type of events are taking people's lives.
And then to get back to what we first were talking about, those of you that are watching this video who like to spectate at these events, well, your days are going to be numbered. We're now going to start enforcing you being out there. So please do not participate in these events. All you're doing is encouraging dangerous behavior that could potentially get people hurt or killed. So please watch your step in the city of Anaheim, because we're going to be using this law to the best of our ability.
So it's time for your little spiel where you close this up, Shane.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thanks for watching. As always, tune in, like, share, subscribe.
Wait, let me interrupt you right there.
Uh-oh.
When you're talking about like, share, subscribe, share has never been more important in this, right?
Absolutely.
We want to make sure that everybody who sees this video, please try to share it with everybody you know that could have a child or a friend of a child or plays a role in high school that may be able to disseminate this information out to whoever can get it, because it is imperative for people to know how important it is and how dangerous the spectating problem is. Absolutely. And the fact that we are now taking it extremely seriously here in the city of Anaheim.
Absolutely, absolutely. So one thing before we sign off I wanted to mention is, make sure you check us out next week on St. Patty's Day. We're going to be teaming up with the Coffee with the Cop guys over in community policing. So please watch that video. It's supposed to be really good. We're going to be talking about impaired driving. We've got some really cool tools to use during that.
Absolutely.
We got Fatal Vision goggles. Make sure you check it out. So please submit your questions early. Ask@anaheim.net, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.